Guess we just go for it because I literally don't have an agenda. I have a lot of tabs open solely on baseball right now, and is my mic even? My mic is on, so I don't know where to go. I'd like to probably hear myself talk too, so you might get the ear, see the ear out here. Welcome to an unnamed podcast. Ryan, my buddy Ryan Galloway was supposed to join me, but he's MIA, and I'm not even gonna bother trying to get a hold of him. Uh, I thought that was him texting me, but it's not. And so it's just me tonight, and he might never show up, and this could just be a solo thing. That's on him. So Ryan, when you watch this, get your game up. Anyways, welcome to the Unnamed Pod. I I'm your host, uh, or co-host. I don't know. Will Glover is my name. I was thinking about naming it Glow Nose, but that's kind of cringe, and I don't want to take anything away from Bo Jackson. So that being said, it's just like any other thing. I feel like I have decent takes on sports, and I would like to share my opinions because I'm a very opinionative human being. So that being said, it's going to take a while to get used to, and it's a learning experience all the way around with editing and it's how I present and things like that. So hopefully I get better as time goes on, and hopefully I'll stay engaged and watch it. So with that being said, and I need to stop saying that too. Let's just get right into it. So normally, what I'm trying to do, hopefully there'll be a stinger. I'll just cut there and be like segment one, but there's not right now. So I will drink water time and start from here. So it's gonna be a pretty short podcast. I'm just gonna read things off Twitter for the night, and then we'll upload it in the morning. I also want to congratulate because the All Star game happened. I guess when I upload this 2 days ago, it's the day after right now, but I'm gonna upload it in the morning. Congrats to the National League for finally breaking the streak, and congrats to Elias Diaz for shocking the world. Honestly, before he even hit that home run, I told my dad I was watching the game with him. I said he does not belong here, and so Elias, thank you for proving me wrong, and congrats on your All Star Game MVP. That is a huge accomplishment, and I know you'll never forget that. So congrats to you, and congrats to the Rockies. Surprisingly, the first All Star Game MVP, excuse me, MVP ever, and they've had players like Arenado, Tulowitzki, Blackman. Good good hitters. So congrats to Elias Diaz. Congrats to the Rockies. Congrats to their fans. Finally, something to cheer about. And yeah, then of course another stinger. You know, it's rough. It's rough. It's rough. It's rough. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about my Cardinals, because they're actually in the news, and I'm not talking about them just because I'm a fan. I'm actually talking about them because it's big news coming out of St. Louis. John Mozeliak, Cardinals president, just got signed to a 2-year extension, I believe. President of baseball ops, quote, says, right now, I can tell you we're going to trade people. I just don't know if it's going to be household names or guys who are more likely not to be here next year. That's big news. If it's household names, obviously players like Arenado and Goldschmidt are gone. Well, I would find it pretty hard for teams to actually want Goldschmidt, who's now almost 36 years old, and it would be pretty hard for the Cardinals to trade the reigning MVP. I think it's not a good move. One for fans, but you'll see your ticket sales dramatically drop off if you do that. And I honestly, I really think that St. Louis is the last place Goldschmidt will play. So I don't believe, and I think St. Louis will be competitive next year. So to trade Goldschmidt would be a pretty big mistake, especially with pretty young core around Goldschmidt and Arenado now, pretty young. So they need that. They need that mentorship. They need that leadership from Goldschmidt. Arenado's a toss up. I was not prepared on his contract. Let me. This is where my editing skills will come in. Future Arenado contract, but right now, might as well just do this live. As long as my mic is still on. I gotta check that every now and then. So, pretty decent contract, and it was front loaded. So that was his new deal, and St. Louis wasn't even paying for it up until this year. $35 million, or they just started paying for it. So $35 million this year, 35 next year, and then in his 35 seasons, 27, and then his 36 season, which he still could be very effective, just different play style now. Which I don't even think it's different play style. Besides, he's just going to get a tad slower than he already is, and so that's $15 million in his age 36 season, and then he's an unrestricted free agent. And so I think that's a pretty nice contract to trade for if you're competitive for this year and next year. And I would be looking, if the Cardinals are serious about trading Arenado, I would say the Yankees are probably the best team for him to go to with everything that's happening right now, and Aaron Judge is who knows how far away from getting healthy. So I would say Arenado goes to New York. I would believe if he got traded, he would go to New York. Or sleeper pick here would be the Angels. If the Angels can figure out a way to become competitive without Trout, I think the Angels could use a big bat like Arenado, a big consistent bat who stays in the lineup every day and will give you 150 games. The Angels right now are 45 and 46. They're 5 games out of the wild card. And they're 1-9 in their last 10 is the problem. So the Angels, if they want to become competitive and want to compete in Ohtani's potential last season in Los Angeles, in Anaheim, then I would believe the Angels would probably have to be 4 or 5 games above 500 at the break. So at July 31st, the Angels would have to be probably, I don't know exactly, but they have to be 5 games above 500 for them to even think about trading for Arenado. And the Cardinals still have a chance. Listen, the Cardinals are in the worst division in baseball outside of the AL Central. All right, AL Central is not baseball. That is T-ball. The Cardinals have a legitimate chance to still win the Central. They're only 11 and a half out of first place as of right now, and we've seen dramatic comebacks in standings from the Cardinals the past 15 years. They've done it several times. They're only 11 games out of the wild card, which I would say is a little harder. I think you're going to want to win the Central rather than be a wild card team. You're still going to be that third team, so it's essentially like you're playing as a wild card anyways. I think if the Cardinals come within 5 games of if they're 5 games under 500, they're 12, 38, or they're 14 games under 500, they're 38 and 52. If the Cardinals can win their next 12 out of 15, which their schedule is pretty weak. Their schedule right now. They got the Nationals. This weekend series is the Nationals. Really bad team. St. Louis's record does not represent how bad the Nationals are, even though they're pretty close. Then they got the Marlins. Pretty good team, but we don't know. The Marlins could hit that wall. Right now they're playing really hot, but they can hit the wall. And so we don't know how the Marlins are going to play in the second half. They got the Cubs, who are probably going to be sellers at the deadline, as they usually are. Diamondbacks, Corbin Carroll, I know he played in the All-Star game, but he's still kind of 50-50. D-backs pitching needs to kick it up to another gear again. Then we play the Cubs again. Sorry. Let's be unbiased here. Then St. Louis plays the Cubs again. So we play 8. Sorry, force of habit. So the Cardinals play 8 games against the Cubs in what is that? In 11 games. 8 out of their next 11 is against Chicago. They win 8 of those. 8 out of their next 11. I mean, that's right before the deadline. Good things can happen there. Then they play the Twins, Rockies, 2 horrible teams. Sorry, Twins are not very good. Then they play the Rays. That's probably 2 out of 3 losses. Then they play the Royals, 2-game series. Those are 2 potential wins. And then they got the worst team in baseball, worst team in history, was the Athletics. Then the Mets, who've been playing really bad. Pirates, Phillies, Padres, all at Cardinals level, honestly. Just very mid, not competitive, not very intriguing teams to watch. Then they got the Braves, another one. Okay, you're probably going to lose a few. Then you get the Reds. The Reds are a fluke, I'm sorry. The Reds are not going to compete. This is the Brewers division right now. The Brewers are kind of what they always do. Kind of sitting there, second place for a long time, then kick in the next year. This is the Brewers division to win right now. And then they got the Orioles, tough team. Phillies again. Brewers, 4-game series, huge. Padres, Brewers again. And then the Reds to close off the season. this is a very winnable division. If anything, Mosaic's quote saying they don't know if it's going to be big names. They could be trading for big names. Now, it hasn't happened in years past. Like biggest trades we've gotten has been Jose Quintana and Jordan Montgomery, who's been the Cardinals' best pitcher this year. But I mean, when you look at it, if the Cardinals can be close within 500 by the All-Star break, then they got a pretty good shot to not be sellers, but to be heavy buyers and revamp that whole pitching staff. Really, the offense is not an issue. Top 5 offense in baseball. They're they're kind of streaky, but it's kind of hard to perform well when you're down 5-0 in the first inning. And it's also hard to perform well when you're up by 2 runs in a late inning game and you're kind of going slowing it down, things like that, and then your bullpen goes and blows it. You're like, okay, well now we got to get back up. So it's really this whole season obviously has been on the pitching staff, and there's really no other excuse. But if they can find a way, and the Cardinals can revamp that bullpen, and the starting pitch. Starting pitching has been a lot better past month, but if they can revamp that bullpen, which has been a huge thorn in their side, they got to get rid of Gallegos, and Palante's got to get DFA'd. He has no trade value, so I would say Cardinals need to watch out for that for sure. But I'm probably going to put a bet on St. Louis. If I was a betting man, which sometimes I am, I'll bet that St. Louis probably does end up winning the Central. So something worth noting. It's only 90 games. They're 91 games in. Anything can happen. They got 70 left. They got 70 plus left, something like that. So we'll see. All right. So my next thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, I also wanted to talk about. Where was it? I think I saved it. Oh yeah, this is back on the Arenado Edmund thing. Yankees fans, and I will make sure this tweet gets put up in front of my face as I read it. Here's one tweet from a Yankees fan saying Yankees get Arenado, Nootbaar, or Edmund. Cardinals get Burrito, Pereira. I don't even know how to say some of these names because they're so not household names, and they're just not very. They're great players, best players, but they're not major league. Oswaldo Cabrera, King's good. Higashioka, I think he'd be pretty good for St. Louis, and then Torres. You know, personally, it's a bad trade, but Yankees fans think they can make any mock trade and get away with it and say, "Oh, this is a good trade. We get Ohtani, you get Kyle Higashioka. I think that's a pretty good trade off." That's a Yankees fan. So I just thought this was funny. Funny tweet. Twitter's fun. Twitter's fun to watch. So yeah. All right, now we go next. Wonder, can I do like a? Can we do a slide like that? Anyways, we'll see. Whoosh. All right, so my next thing I wanted to talk about was Fox Sports came out with their mid-season awards, and I'll post every single one as I'm talking about them. They had 4 voters. I actually have no idea who the voters were. It doesn't say, but they also let the fans vote on it, and it's pretty consistent. So yeah. So for the first award, and I'll pop it up right now. It's 2023 midseason AL MVP. Obviously, that's Shohei Ohtani. It's not even close. It's having one of the greatest seasons in MLB history. He's already had a 6.5 B-WAR at the All-Star break, which means he's probably going to get close to 11 or 12 if he stays healthy. This is all predicated on he's got to stay healthy, which he's known to kind of battle with injuries towards the end of the season, just like Mike Trout, who's on the injured list, just like a few others. Ronald Acuna's been battling the injury bug the last few years. So we'll see. Which brings me to my next one. MVP. And actually, I'm sorry, I just realized this is just options. Obviously, Shohei Ohtani is the unanimous AL MVP. But for the next one, this is for fan voting. They have Ronald Acuna, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, and Corbin Carroll. This is clearly Ronald Acuna's award. He's going to have a 40-80 season potentially, which obviously never been done in history. And if it is done, it'll be wildly impressive, but it'll be overshadowed by the season that Shohei Ohtani's had, which is a real shame because Acuna deserves to have just as much recognition as Ohtani does, but of course he's not going to get it because right now baseball is in desperate need of the face of the MLB. And since Aaron Judge has been injured, Ohtani is pretty much right now the only thing they can go to. in a big city, even though it's the Angels, still got that big city name, Los Angeles. So, and he has the whole country of Japan behind him. So Otani's the face of the MLB. It's not even close. But Ronald Acuna's having a great season. He's my midseason NL MVP. And obviously, if he stays healthy, he's going to win the MVP in the National League. He should have won it before he got injured, 2021. He was having a great season then. He's having a better season now. I hope he stays healthy because Ronald Acuna being healthy is great for baseball. And it's great for the Braves because then the Braves and Astros will probably have another World Series. In which, with Acuna, you never know. I think the Braves are front runners right now for the World Series, but I'm gonna stay away from that right now because you never know. This is baseball, and baseball is insane. So for the next one, they have NL Rookie of the Year, and they only got two: Corbin Carroll and Ilya de la Cruz, which he's only played 20 games. I know they've been 20 amazing games, but we got to slow down here real quick because he's gonna slow down. Every rookie does, and as funny as fun as he is to watch, Statcast Merchant, I mean, great player to watch. We need to slow it real quick because Corbin Carroll's been having an amazing rookie season, and I don't think there's anyone close to him right now. Even though 39% of Twitter voters, Twitter, whatever, 39% of them believe that De La Cruz is the MVP, is Rookie of the Year. He's not. Corbin Carroll's been put up much better numbers over a much longer stretch and has already proven to everyone that he can compete on a major league level consistently. He's an all-star starter. He's done everything that qualifies. See, he's even an MVP candidate. I would say more so than Freddie Freeman right now, but that's a different discussion. So Corbin Carroll, National League Rookie of the Year. It's not close. Now here's a closer one. And then after, so we have our National League Rookie of the Year. We go down to our American League Rookie of the Year. It is a little closer. I still think this belongs to Young. It's between Josh Young and Masataka Yoshida. Yoshida's having a great year. Wasn't an all-star, though. Young was a starter, which I think gives him more weight. Also, he's been a whole win above replacement better than Yoshida, even though Yoshida's had a better OPS plus. Young's been kind of doing a little more around the field. He can hit for power. He's not really a big stolen base guy, but you don't need that. He can work on his on-base percentage, I'm not going to lie, but when you're slugging over 500, you're doing something right. And so he's got, how many extra base hits is that? What am I looking at? 19, 19, and 1. So 39 extra base hits right now on the season. Not bad. Pretty good for a rookie. 25-year-old. The rookies are older this year. We got a 25-year-old and the 30-year-old battling for Rookie of the Year right now. Yeah. And Josh Young is San Antonio native, my hometown. So we gotta give a little bit of credit to the hometown hero. So Josh Young, my American League Rookie of the Year so far right now. Glad he's playing in Texas. It's where he belongs. He went to Texas Tech, which I'm not a big fan of Tech, but it's kind of every kid who grew up here wanted to play for the Rangers or the Astros. So he's getting to live his dream. So congrats to Josh Young and Yoshida on great seasons. But Josh Young is my American League Rookie of the Year. And we got two more, and then we got, which this is a tough one, the National League Cy Young, because I believe this could be any the four picks: Zach Gallen, Spencer Strider, Clayton Kershaw, and Marcus Stroman. I would kick Glayshaw. I'd kick Kershaw out of the conversation simply because he's gonna get injured. They're gonna cut him off. He's obviously the greatest pitcher I've ever seen in my lifetime in terms of just career. Obviously, I was alive during the Pedro Martinez era, but I don't remember very well. Clayton Kershaw is the greatest, is the closest thing I've seen to perfection in a major league pitcher. I believe it's between Gallen and Strider, but Stroman's a good dark horse, especially if he gets traded to if he gets traded to an American League team, his run at Cy Young's over. But if he gets traded to a National League team, I think he can elevate his stats a little more, put him around a better team. So, but I think right now, it's Zach Gallen's award. Cardinals legend Zach Gallen, who's turned himself into not just the ace of the Diamondbacks, but one of the best pitchers in baseball, obviously, because he's my front runner for the award right now. But it's between Zach Gallen and Spencer Strider. Strider's having 15 strikeouts per nine, which is an insane stat for a starting pitcher. Once he passes a certain threshold, he's going to be the leader all time in strikeouts per nine for a starter. So Strider, his stuff is insane. So he's definitely a close second, but Gallon has it right now. And then for my last one, which Fox has given us, is the American League Cy Young. And I don't think this is close right now. It's between Garrett Cole, Framber Valdez, Shane McClanahan. I'm having a tough time pronouncing names today, and Nathan Eovaldi. I like the Nathan Eovaldi pick simply because he's turned his career around. He was battling injuries for a little bit, and he went to the Red Sox, wins the World Series, struggles again. He's back. He's the pitcher that everyone wanted him to be. He's having a great year for the Rangers, who are the Miracle Rangers right now, playing well, first place in one of the tougher divisions in baseball, excluding the Athletics. And yeah, I like. I'm not a Rangers fan, but I do like the hometown teams. I have an affinity towards them. Nathan Eovaldi would be the fan pick. He's a fan favorite, but it's Garrett Cole's. It's not even close. Leading baseball in pitching WAR. Absolutely dominating. He's keeping the Yankees in the playoff hunt right now without Judge. Every fifth day, they're getting a win right now. Garrett Cole's kind of put that team on his back every fifth day. So Garrett Cole is the clear choice. And we'll be looking. I mean, Framber Valdez and McClanahan, great pitchers. They don't come close to Garrett Cole's greatness right now. He's clearly the best pitcher in baseball, and it's really not even close. So Garrett Cole's my American League Cy Young for this season. All right, so I got two more things, and they're pretty quick. I wanted to talk about some of the draft picks first off, and congrats to all who were drafted in this year's draft a couple days ago. Some people I know have been drafted. People I used to play with, which is pretty cool to see. I grew up playing with them. Great players, great guys. So congrats to them. Couldn't have happened to better people. Just huge accomplishment. It's a call I always wanted and never got, but I'm glad other people get that chance. So enjoy it, celebrate it, and get back to that grind. Want to see you play in the MLB. Want to see all y'all play in the MLB. At least someday. Live out every little kid's dream. So congrats to them. I do want to talk about some of the draft picks, in which I thought were obvious choices, but still doesn't fit your needs and is a little risky. First one would be Pirates picking Paul Skeens from LSU, who's a fantastic pitcher. One of the best college pitchers I've ever seen. Could top out at 103, 104 as a starter. He struck out about over half his batters in conference play, in the best conference in college baseball. It's just super risky to take a pitcher number one overall. It always has been, and it always will be. Just because you never know. Injuries, pitchers very susceptible, especially when they throw as hard as Skeens does. Anything can happen. I wish nothing. I hope he stays healthy his whole career, but we got that Jacob deGrom thing, back at the head. Is this the next Jacob deGrom? Guy's got electric stuff. Injuries. Overall, it's the pick you have to make. Obviously, the best player in college, one of the best players in baseball, excluding professional. I would say excluding it AAA up, honestly. I think he's AAA. I think he's AAA ready already. But that's not for me to decide. That's for the Pirates to decide. Pirates are good at drafting pitchers and then trading them away. So you never know. This could be another Garrett Cole or James Tyone thing. So yeah, Paul Skeens, great pitcher. Pirates. I hope it goes well. I really do, and I hope to see Skeens pitch against my Cardinals pretty soon. That would be pretty cool. Not fun because no one wants to face 103 from a starter, but pretty cool to see. So, congrats to the Pirates for drafting one of the best pitchers I've seen on the collegiate level. Another pick, which actually came to everyone's surprise, was I have it up here because it's tough to remember all the names. There's 20 plus rounds, 15 plus rounds in the draft, so it's tough to remember everything. The Athletics at 6. A's doing the A's thing. They picked Jacob Wilson from Grand Canyon. He's a really solid player, really tough to strike out. His pop is not there for major league level, but he's a pretty good defender. I think there are probably better options, but once again, for me to say that it's kind of asinine. It's really dumb because these guys are the best of their craft. But I feel like there were a few better picks than Jacob Wilson. Nothing on him. He's a great player. Also, the Athletics, do they need another infielder in their farm system? Probably not. I'd say probably go to pitching since that's what they're really struggling in. They had there's a few out there. If I scroll down here, um, players that kind of fell. Um, Hurston Waldrep from Florida, he was there. Noble Meyer even, he fell at 10. So I feel like there were some decent pitching prospects that the A's could have picked up, but no shame in that. Congrats to Jacob Wilson for getting picked higher than where he should have gone. That's obviously a lot more money for him, so congrats to him. Still a great player. Watched him a few times. Goes to my rival school, so he pretty good to pretty cool to see. His dad was in the big league, so he's got pretty good knowledge of the game, I would say. Great defensive player. His bat's just not there yet, but you can train that. It's hard to train good defense. It's pretty easy to train a bat, especially he was one of the toughest to strike out. So he has plate discipline. It's just can he put some once he puts the ball in play, can he get past outfielders? So athletics, not what you needed. Pretty good plate discipline. Pretty good hitter, just not strong. Uh, Not major league strong right now. So Jacob Wilson, congrats on being drafted. Got nothing against you. I just feel like the A's probably should have gone somewhere else, and you probably should have fallen to the Royals. Royals, even though they have Bobby Witt, they could either move Wilson or Witt to one of the other spots in the infield. They do need another infielder besides Bobby Witt, or even the Rockies. Playing in Coors Field would really help out. It'd really help out on the power numbers. So, looking again, congrats to Jacob Wilson, his family. Athletics, not a bad player, obviously, not a bad pick, but just not what you needed. So, with that being said, A's probably could have done better. Okay, all right. And then for my last surprise, honestly, surprise he dropped this far is Chase Davis out of Arizona. Huge lefty bat. One of the purest swings I've ever seen. Looked like Carlos Gonzalez. The Cardinals got him, thankfully. Um, Now, did the Cardinals need another outfielder? Absolutely not. So, but they did pick the best player available. Someone who probably should have went top 10 in my opinion. The A's probably should have got Chase Davis over Wilson, but hindsight's 2020, and we'll see. The fact that he fell at 21, though, I guess that's probably why the Cardinals felt like they were obligated to pick him. St. Louis should have gone with pitching because we pretty much traded away our entire farm for pitching for Ozuna from the Braves and things like that. So uh, it's not questionable because of where he got drafted, but it is something where you got to be like, okay, well, hopefully there's a better pitching prospect down in the second, third round. So I'd say St. Louis. I'd give that a B plus, A grade. If I had to choose. Um, but yeah, Chase Davis is a great player. I think he was Pac-12 Player of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. He might have not been, so don't quote me on that. But excuse me. Oh, no one heard that one. But yeah, he's got great power. He's got good plate discipline. He's a pretty decent defender. So Cardinals do need a good hitting outfielder. Right now, St. Louis is struggling to really rack up hits in the outfield. They're hoping Newbar would pull through, hoping Carlson, but they've kind of been pretty average this year. Walker's been a pretty decent hitter, but he's been a really bad defender. And that's just because he's a natural third baseman. Uh, so no knock on him. St. Louis loves drafting good third basemen, but it's tough to transition into the outfield, especially when you've been playing one position your whole life and they expect you at the highest level of baseball to play a position you've never played before. So no knock on Jordan Walker for that. Great hitter, but leaves a lot to be desired from in the field. All right, last thing. MLB announced, I think yesterday, for the All Star game, I believe. Um, they're playing in 5 new locations. So they're going to start the season. Dodgers and Padres. I got this reading out here, March 20th, 21st, in Seoul, South Korea, which is awesome. Baseball is just growing so much, and it's now reached the Koreas. South Korea, more specifically, has not reached North Korea. So don't quote me that it's reached there because it has not, and it probably never will, unfortunately. But Dodgers Padres March 20th, 21st. It's MLB season opener, and they'll probably go back and play a few games of spring training afterwards. It's that weird setup they always got. So that's big for South Korea. It's gonna be fun to watch. Maybe Otani, even though Otani's from Japan, they're gonna get a lot of. I mean, that's pretty close for Japanese fans to travel over. I don't know how customs and things work, but I think that'd be pretty cool that Japan would be pretty close to see their hometown guy if he was on the Padres or Dodgers at that point in time. But they also got Ha-Seong Kim, who is a South Korean, so that'll be cool. See him play for the Padres as long as he's still on the Padres by then. And then next series is Mexico City, Astros and Rockies. This is good for Mexico because Houston's pretty close to there, and a lot of Astros fans. It's a lot of Dodgers fans. I feel like this should have been Astros Dodgers. Would be a pretty good series, but it's Astros Rockies, and so that's not too bad. That's April 27th, 28th. Again, Mexico City series is doing well. Good for baseball. Then we travel to London across the pond. That's always a fun series to watch. Cardinals and Cubs split, I think, this year. Yeah. Wainwright had a bad start and he wrapped it up second time. So that's a good series. Unfortunately, it's Cardinals Cubs this year. Two pretty bad teams. Mets and Phillies next year. Hopefully they're putting this year in the past, I should say, because it's been rough for all those teams, really just underperforming. A lot of underperforming and overperforming teams. No one's really playing consistent except for the Astros, ironically enough, and the Braves. Those are our only two consistent teams right now. And Tampa Bay, they're always. But I'm getting off track. Let's focus here because now we have spring training games in the Dominican Republic. Red Sox versus Rays, which is really cool. Big Red Sox fan base down there. This is one I believe St. Louis probably should have been in because big Red Sox Cardinals fan base because of Ortiz and Pujols. So yeah, I feel like that's probably where it should have been. But Red Sox Rays, still a great matchup. It's a spring training. I wish it was an actual season game, but it's not. But maybe if this goes well, then they'll move a regular season game to it, and that would be pretty cool to watch. And then of course they got the game in Birmingham, Alabama. I believe it's in Birmingham. It's at one of the Negro League sites where it used to be. That's Cardinals versus Giants, I believe. I don't. It's not in front of me on this one. This is just overseas games, but that'll be a really fun game to watch. A lot of history there, and I also think they're doing Field of Dreams again, but I'm not sure which two teams are doing that. So baseball is doing a lot of cool things. This is one thing Manfred has got right by expanding the game and doing these cool little promo series. I believe this is the best thing for baseball and for growth. And I would like to honestly see a game in Brazil, maybe. Maybe we get a game in shoot, I don't know, Israel, Egypt. I don't know. I don't know what the market is over there. They probably got to do some research. I would like to see games, ML anywhere around the world except Antarctica, obviously. I think that would be pretty cool. So, but that's for marketing, and I hate marketing. So we'll let MLB's marketers do the best they can on that one. But Manfred's doing right here. Uh, so credit where credit's due. Manfred, I love what you're doing with these overseas series, and keep it up. Keep coming up with new ideas, new places, new things. Okay, so that's gonna wrap up podcast one, I guess. Hopefully the audio sounds okay. This is gonna get uploaded to YouTube as well. I gotta figure out how to do Spotify again. I kind of forgot how to do that, but we'll get it up there. I don't know. I have to create a whole new account on that, so Spotify might be delayed, but I know it's gonna go up to my YouTube. I'm gonna try to post clips if I can. I'm first gonna edit this video, and then I'll edit that video to another one. So hopefully get clips in there, and I will try to upload those as fast as possible. Try and do one or two a week, and podcast probably one a week. Hopefully Ryan gets his head out of his ass. Would be pretty preferred. I still don't know what he's doing. So Ryan, if you get this far when you watch this, you probably won't. But if you do, let's go. Let's figure this out because I'm not waiting for you any longer. And that's an active threat. I will find someone else, Ryan. I will find someone else. Anyways, I'm your host with not really the most, but doing my best, Will Glover. And this has been, so far, the Unnamed Podcast. The Unnamed Sports Podcast, I will say. Thank you for watching, listening on anything. And a follow would be greatly appreciated. And we'll see y'all next time.